How do you actually find a book idea or niche on Amazon KDP where you can make a lot of money? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly the strategies that I use to make a lot of money self-publishing on Amazon, how I find book ideas, how I find niches. So you can follow along with me, use my strategies and find your own book idea niche and make a lot of money. My name's Jace Perry. The most I made on Amazon KDP was $50,000 in a month. That was mostly from 2 books and I was around $21,000 profit that month. I've also sold my Amazon account for $210,000. I've documented everything on my Instagram from when I first started at like 0 back in 2018, 2019, all the way to all that money I made. So if you want to check me out, just check out my Instagram. You'll have to scroll to the bottom, but it's all there, okay? So I'm Jace Perry and I teach people how to make money self-publishing. So if that's your sort of thing and you don't mind raw, uncut videos where I'll just talk to you like this and show you stuff, then subscribe for more. Okay, let's find a niche, guys and girls. I'm going to do it in real time now, right now, all right? How I would do it, as if I was sitting here looking for a new book idea, looking for a new niche I can target. Excuse my hair. I've been to the beach recently and I've got like, you know, where seawater goes in there. But anyway, okay, niche. Firstly, what is a good niche? Okay, I determine a good niche by 2 things. Very, very simple. In my mind, you've got to be able to make money, all right? If you can't make money in that niche and a lot of money, then it's not a good niche and in the simplest, easiest way possible. Back in, I think, 2023, 24, I found a niche that was going strong at that time. It was the devotional, I forgot the name now. It's the devotional book for retired women. And there was like 1 book selling at like 2,000 BSR and there was barely any other books. I put a book in that. I got my VA to create the interior because she's quite religious actually, so she enjoyed it. I created a really good cover, ran ads, and I was selling that book at $17. It made sales straight away and the ads were profitable straight away. So that book was straight away profitable as a high price. It was the most simplest, easiest money, one of them, that I've made because the niche was spot on. See, every now and again, you'll get a niche like that where you've kind of just about found something that's going on well and you position your book perfectly, it's well priced, and you'll make money, profit, straight away. So I'll give you the strategies how I did that. You kind of got to be in KDP though. You kind of got to be involved in KDP, be looking around in order to find these little gold mines like I did. All right, so let's find a niche. This is how I find a niche normally. I just go to Amazon and just remember, I'm going to put my iPad down. I don't need that. I'm looking for a high price. All right. So I'm thinking, what's a book that I can produce really, really quickly now? Trivia books, facts books, quizzes books, they can be done so quickly now using ChatGPT. So I'd still look at trivia books. I'd still look at workbooks, stuff that I know that the interior can be done very, very quickly. Okay, because that's the bit that's going to take the most time. If you can get the interior done fast, then you can produce the book fast and get to profit fast. Remember, we're looking at making the most amount of money in the most simplest, easiest way. So if creating a whole book in AI can be done, then yes, we'll do that. But so normally I do trivia, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go after the dreaded color books because if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm against color books. But saying that, color books are easy to create and you can make money if you position them correctly. Most self-publishers don't do this. Most publishers of color books don't do this, and they're all sitting in there at about $7 to $10 profit, $7 to $10 sales price, and they're not making any money and not making any sales. So I'm going to type in here. This is the way I would do it. So whatever style book you decide to do, just type it in here. Color book. Okay, I'm just going to type it like that. So now it's got 100,000 results. Loads of color books. Now, the first thing we want to do right now is we want to know that there's sales going on in this type of book. And we know damn well that there's loads of color books selling, okay? I don't need to prove that here. Just check, though. If you choose an unusual style book, like, I don't know, Sudoku or crossword, number crossword or something, just check that there are actual books like that that are actually selling at a good BSR. All right, you can see I've got helium-10 here, so it tells me the BSR straight away. You can see this big book of colouring for animals is like 157 BSR, selling crazy. This one's at 1,000, so selling crazy. These are all selling crazy, so just check that first. If you've got no books, no type of book like the one you're looking at, selling well, then move on. That tells you there's no money in this niche. So we know there's money in this niche. Next thing, let's put in price order. I want to see which books in this niche are selling at the highest price. So I'm going to click on, it's just gone backwards here. I think I clicked on something else. I'm just going to make move myself over there. So I'm going to click on books. I'm going to type in color book again. Color book. Now over here, I'm going to put it when it wakes up. I'm going to put in price order. Let's see which books are priced the highest, and then see if any of those are selling. Okay, that should have done now. $125. So that's a whole block of books. 11 books here. $46. Black and white photographic journey into these colors. Black and white. Okay. So I'm just looking for something that just jumps out at me is like, I can do that easily. All right. High contrast. Cookbook. I don't know what that's doing here. That's not a color book, is it? This one, Trace and Pape Botanicals, that's selling at 400. See, if you haven't got helium-10 or you don't use Productor is another good one. You just type Productor into Productor for merch by Amazon into Google, and then you can get it. And then you see the BSR straight away. You haven't got to click on anything. I'm looking for something with BSR below 100. This one's quite close, and selling at a really good price. I like the prices here though. Look at that one, $29.99. This one's $19.99, but it's at 300 BSR. Easter Bunny, you can see here, look at the price there, $8.99. You don't want to go below, I would say you don't want to go below $12. I'd stay above $12. $10 at the very, very minimum. And when you're looking as well, you don't want to go for books that appear to have like some sort of brand behind it. Maybe the author's got like a big brand, like Coco Wyo, for example. This one here looks like it's got a big brand behind it. So I'm just scrolling, looking at the BSRs now. So here's one here. There we go. 12. That's selling at $19.99. Law Olympus watercolor. I'm just going to open this up just inside there while I look for more. Yeah. Okay. What I'll do is I'll pause the video so you don't have to watch me scrolling, and I'll bring you back once I've found a book that's below 100k BSR and selling above $12. I'll be right back. Okay, let me just bring you back real quick. What's interesting is it was around $14. I've gone to page 4 now, and you can see prices have just fallen off a cliff. Like literally, there's nothing above $10 now. And I do a lot of my niche research like this, and normally prices stay a bit stable. It goes down at a slow tangent, 20, 18, 19. This has gone from like, I saw a couple of 15s and I think I clicked on one, and now it's just gone well below 10. So to be honest, color books are a pain in the ass, to be honest. But let me just show you one that I found here, and let's just see if we can actually do something in this niche. I'm just going to look here. It looks like characters from Law Olympus. Is this from a cartoon or something? Yeah. I mean, just looking at that, it's not a colour book that I want to take on. I mean, look at it. Look how much detail there. You can see why it's priced at that. And it can maybe even part of a brand. I don't know. But anyway, here's one I found earlier, okay? I'm just going to show you what I did before. I'm just going to type in here. We want to kind of niche it down. So I'm trying to find out niches within the color books that's going to be worth money. Okay, so I'm going to do color book animals first. I know there's not going to be anything here, but let's just have a look. Yeah, look, prices are dusty. This one here, adult color book, but again, that's Jade Summer. It's got 10,500 reviews. It's selling at over $12, but you're not going to take on that. All right, let me have a look again. So forget animals. Let me think of something else. I'm going to say color book home. So maybe some color books of houses. K-pop. This one, color at home. This is interesting. Let's try this one. This is all free tools, by the way. I know I'm using Helium 10, but you use Productor. I didn't want to use any paid tools because I want to show you how to do it without any paid tools. But this is interesting. Look, color at home, a young house love coloring book. So it's selling. It is actually selling at $13 here. Unfortunately, it's been discounted, so we'd have to price it at $11. So that's no good. But let's just see if there's anything else in here. Oh, what I'm looking for is I'm looking if I can compete with this color book, and I can. If you look, let's look at this now. Let's look at this. What's making this color book look so great? All right, this image here, which can be done in AI. Now look at the first page. They've designed it nicely, yeah, but it's just a bit of effort, and it goes a long way because this is just text, and they've just shoved this sofa there. They've shoved the frame there. They've done a nice introduction. It's all laid out nicely. It goes with the theme of the book. And again, look, a bit of the home there. But you think, like, you can do this all in AI, and then you can add that in there. It's just a bit of design work, and it goes a long way. Try this at home. So there's a bit more information here. If you ever get stuck on and want to shake things up where you add color to. So there's a bit of information, being a bit more creative. Let's get warmed up. Exercise 1, so it's done some exercise. I did this for my illustration book that made $5,000 in a month profit. You just do little details like this, and this here would literally take a few minutes, but it goes a long way. Exercise 2, so it gets you warmed up. These guys, a bit about them, and then get cracking. But there's nothing here that you can't copy. But you see what I mean? It puts you in a slightly different arena to someone that's just getting color books done in like an AI, shoving it behind some crappy cover and just uploading it for $8. All right, there's a reason this book's selling at 30,000 BSR at $12.99, and you can see why. But you just put that little bit of effort in, and you've got a book that's selling at like 2 to 3 times more the price. Yes, it might be 2 to 3 times more work to start with, but you do it once, and then every single sale you're getting 2 to 3 times more profit, as opposed to just doing a rubbish color book slapped between a cover. Okay, so that's one possible niche. While we're in the color book niche, I'm going to show you one that I saw yesterday for my for the last video, color book on drugs, like pharmaceutical drugs, top 200 drugs. Now I didn't see this one, but check it out. This one here I was in the process of copying before my account got terminated, but my VA gave up on me because it was a lot of work. But had I just carried on, I reckon I would have just paid extra to get this done, because look at the price of these guys, $27.75, $29.99, with a BSR of 12,000 and a BSR of 7,000. Okay, let me just work out the profit on that, just so we can see what the potential is when you position your book right. So let's take which one's selling the most. This one, let's just do this one because it's higher price, $29.99. I'll open this on the side. We'll come back to that. Actually, let's check how many. 253 pages is a usual size 8x. It's an 8x11. 253, and it's $29.99. What a beautiful price. And look, $12.69. Let's check how much it's selling. How many times BSR calculator. I believe that was 12,000 BSR, 12,900. Just call it 13,000 BSR. It's a paperback. 13,000 BSR selling 11 times a day at $12.69. My math's not great, but that's in the hundreds. So it's $140 in sales every single day, and that's $4,000 a month from that one book because it's positioned right. Okay, so when I'm looking at niches, I'm looking at things like this. I'm looking at what I can produce in the simplest, easiest way, which is the highest amount of time, highest amount of profit. Okay, and I picked color books just for the sake of this video. But you can see now, if you do something with a little bit more effort, just a little bit. I mean, this obviously you kind of need to know your drugs to do this one, okay? So maybe this is a bad example, but if you look at that home colouring book and you just add a little bit more effort, you can see how you can get so much more money by just adding a bit more effort. If you put the work in up front, let's just summarize this video real quick now. If you put the work in up front, right? Let's just put it here. We want the simplest, easiest way, right? You got a book that might take 3 times more effort, right? So you might be thinking, that's not simple, that's not easier. But then what's the alternative? The alternative is a book that you can do in like 1 hour. And just say this takes 3 hours. You can do in 1 hour, but it goes on at a low price. Let's bring that here. It goes on at a low price. It's easy to copy. And the results are the book's dead, right? That book will die real quick. As opposed to something where you put in the effort, 3 times more effort, 3 times more work, but you got a high price book. It's hard to copy. And the result is a book that gets about 3 times more profit every single sale. Okay? So, whilst I say you go for where the money is, yes, 100%, simplest, easiest way. I mean, if you want to get that money, the simplest, easiest way to get that money in a colour book niche would be to do like one that I just showed you there. That's the simplest, easiest way to do it. Right? There's not an easier way than that to make that much money. You're not going to get that much money if you just do any old colour book that you can create and just slap between cover. Because logic tells you that if you can do it that easy, anyone can do it that easy. So it drives the price down. And there people are doing it now. Self-publishers are just publishing any old colour books. It's not making any money. They're just flooding the market with it. That's why the prices are so low. But as you can see there, if you add a bit more effort, you can make a lot of money in any niche really. Just when you position it right. Okay? And I go a lot into this into my course. If you want to check it out, just comment unlock below and I'll send you the details. But it's a lot about the positioning. If you want to make long-term money on KDP, like you don't want to just make a few bucks in there. You want to actually make life-changing money like I did that comes in every month and provides you with a change of lifestyle because you are producing actually good books. Okay? That's what I teach. And there's a lot more to it than just doing a colour book. This is just a taste of how to do it. The title and cover come next. And that's a lot more details into that. But again, I've got a whole system. Just comment unlock if you want it. And I'll send it to you. Okay? So I hope that helps. Hope you can kind of see. I just did this raw and uncut. Just made it up now. But I wanted you to get into my head on how I do niche hunting. How I'm looking at a good price. I'm looking at the simplest, easiest method. But sometimes that still requires work. And I think definitely now with AI, everyone just put in AI books here onto Amazon. It will require some effort, but you reap the rewards. You're going to get 3 times as much profit every single sale by just putting in 3 times the amount of work once at the beginning. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.